Amid the volatility and turbulence in the world, we must work together for peace and shared security. All countries belong to the same global village and rely on each other for security. We should uphold the vision of common, comprehensive, cooperative, and sustainable security, and respect the legitimate security concerns of all countries. We should settle differences and disputes peacefully through dialogue and consultation. Persisting in camp-based confrontation or willful resort to force only drives peace further away. China has all along acted as a staunch defender of world peace and security. China is the second largest contributor to UN peacekeeping budget and the largest provider of peacekeepers among the permanent members of the Security Council. China has been working actively to promote peace talks on hotspot issues such as the Ukraine crisis and the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. China will continue to play a constructive role in promoting the political settlement of hotspot issues. Second, amid sluggish global growth, we must reinvigorate cooperation and pursue win-win results. A major cause of the current global economic doldrums is the rise in unilateral and protectionist measures, such as tariff hikes and erection of walls and barriers. We should collaborate more closely to identify and expand convergence of interests, promote universally beneficial and inclusive economic globalization, and help each other succeed by moving forward in the same direction. China has always been a key driver of global common development. Over the years, the Chinese economy has maintained steady development, contributing around 30% to global economic growth. China has consistently opened its door wider to the world. It has lowered its overall tariff level to 7.3% and remained the world's second largest importer for 16 consecutive years. China has also advanced high-quality Belt and Road cooperation with over 150 countries. Currently, China is taking solid steps to promote high-quality development at home, with a focus on expanding domestic demand. China has the confidence and capability to keep its economy on an upward trajectory and continue to provide important support for global economic growth. Third, amid dynamic interactions among civilizations, we must champion dialogue and mutual enlightenment. Every civilization has its unique value and heritage, and deserves acknowledgement and respect. Obsession with so-called civilizational superiority or ideology-based circles only breeds more division and confrontation. Adopting an inclusive attitude and engaging in exchange and mutual learning is a sure way to build more consensus and collective strength. China has all along engaged in active civilizational exchange and mutual learning. Over the next 5 years, China will carry out 50 development cooperation programs in the field of culture and civilization for fellow developing countries, and host 200 thematic training and seminar programs, contributing its part to inter-civilizational dialogue and the progress of civilizations. Fourth, amid emerging challenges. We must respond with concrete efforts and protect our shared home. Climate change is a major challenge confronting all of us. We should uphold the principle of common but differentiated responsibilities, promote the effective implementation of the Paris Agreement, and enhance international collaboration on the green economy. In recent years, technologies such as artificial intelligence, network communications, and biomanufacturing have advanced rapidly. Along with the benefits, they also bring potential risks. We should adhere to the principles of people-centered development, technology for good, and equitable benefits, improve relevant governance rules at a faster pace, and strengthen global governance cooperation, so that technological progress could bring real benefits to humanity in a better way. China has always been a responsible stakeholder in addressing global challenges. Committed to green and low-carbon development, China has established the world's largest and fastest-growing renewable energy system, built the most extensive and complete new energy industrial chain, and announced China's 2035 nationally determined contributions that cover all economic sectors and all greenhouse gases. China has proposed the Global AI Governance Initiative and advocated the establishment of a World AI Cooperation Organization. This time during the 80th session, China will present to the UN the lunar soil samples collected by Chang'e 6 from the far side of the moon. Going forward, China will take more proactive actions and work with all parties to advance global governance in relevant areas. Colleagues, China stands ready to work with all members to uphold the standing and authority of the UN, safeguard the purposes and principles of the UN Charter, support UN reforms to improve its efficiency and capacity to fulfill its mandate, and advocate greater representation and voice of developing countries. China will work with the UN to set up a China-UN Global South-South Development Facility and provide it with $10 million in budgetary support. China will also partner with the United Nations Development Program to establish a global center for sustainable development in Shanghai to accelerate the implementation of the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The tide of history surges forward, and the Great Way remains smooth and steadfast. Going forward, China will continue doing its best to contribute to global peace and development. China hopes to work with the rest of the world to uphold the ideals of the UN, carry forward the spirit of multilateralism, actively implement the 4 major global initiatives, advance toward the lofty goal of building a community with a shared future for humanity, and make our world a more harmonious and beautiful